Hey, what's up you guys? Today we are doing another book haul. I said after my last book haul that I was not doing any more, and I was actually really good for the first half of this year. I hardly bought any books, and then I discovered all these like really cheap websites. Like a lot of these books again were like £1, £2, and when books are that price, I'm like, oh, I just keep adding them to the cart, but they do add up. But you know what? That's life. So I'm going to talk about some new releases first, and then a lot of backlist books because I read a lot of backlist books. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and please comment your thoughts on these videos after you watch it, obviously. And follow me on Instagram. My ad is always in this little bottom corner now. I discovered a little fancy thing. And yeah, so I'm probably not going to really edit this video, so let's just get started. The first book I have actually is not a new release, but I found this collector's edition of 3 of the Bronte sisters books. It has Wuthering Heights, Tenant of Willowfell Hall, and Jane Eyre. And it's got gold pages and this fancy pattern, and it's just a really nice like collector's edition. And I got this for £5, and I bought this because I have a matching one of Mark Twain's stories, and they just look nice on a shelf. Really, that's all there is to it. They're just really nice collectibles. Like, I'm never probably going to actually physically read this. I have like individual copies of each book, but for £5, I just really liked it. They look really smart on the shelf. It's a little bit damaged, but obviously it's second hand. Okay, so a new release is Axios End by Lindsay Ellis, and I bought this on a reading vlog. It wasn't really a reading vlog, it was just a vlog. And this is by Lindsay Ellis, who is a YouTuber. She does like commentary videos and like video essays on movies and stuff like that. And I've really loved her channel for like forever. Like, I've watched her for a long time. She's been on YouTube since the start. And this is a sci-fi book about first contact with aliens. And I don't really know much more about it, I just know that, and I'm really excited. I've been really enjoying sci-fi recently this year. I didn't really read any last year, but this year I've been getting more into sci-fi, and I've mostly been reading, kind of like some classic sci-fi, but this is one of the first, or maybe the first, new-ish sci-fi book I've read, so I'm really looking forward to it. I was hoping to read it this month, however, I am going to be doing the Stranger Things readathon next month, and one of the prompts for the team I'm joining is a book with red in the cover, so I'm going to save this for next month. But I'm super excited about this. And then very quickly, obviously, I have Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I really love the cover. I'm not going to lie. See, when it first came out and everyone was talking about it, it wasn't nice. And in the American edition as well, this font is like so much bigger and it just doesn't look right. But I really love this UK edition with the matte and the glossy. I don't know, I really like it. And if you want to see my thoughts on Midnight Sun, I have my review. I'll link in the description, or if you just go to my channel, my last 2 videos are both Midnight Sun related, so check that out. A random book now. I just seen this in a charity shop, and it is the Kell Order, and this was a prequel to the Maze Runner series. If you remember, I also reviewed these. I won't link it in the description, but if you go back to my channel, I done a video talking about my thoughts on the 3 Maze Runner books. And I said I wasn't going to read the prequels, however, I saw this in a charity shop, which is 5 books for £1, so it literally cost me 20 pence. So I just bought it because why not, you know what I mean? I'm not ready yet. I'm not super excited to get to it. I'm not that bothered about it, but I definitely probably will soon, because it's like really, these are really easy reads. Like, I can read these in like 2 days, 3 days. So if I need something, to get my reading slump, that's the book to go. I honestly don't really know what the actual plot is. I think it's just about how the flare, the disease that ruins the world in the Maze Runner series, how that comes about. So that'll be interesting when I get to it. One I'm currently reading right now is The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, and this is the Wheel of Time book 2. I read book 1 last month, and I was waiting. Okay, so this is, you've probably known because I talk about it all the time, it's a 14 book series. So I didn't want to own these because even if I love them, I don't really reread, and I don't physically have the shelf space for a 14 book series. So I was waiting for my library to reopen, and it has not reopened, and there's still no reopening. So, I went online, I got this for like £3.50, and it wasn't even the price that was putting me off buying them. It's just the fact that there's 14 of them, and I don't want to store a 14 book series in my house. But now I've started buying them. Well, I bought 1, so I'm probably going to end up having to keep buying them. Who knows? We'll see. I prefer to just get them from the library, but it is what it is. This next book is a classic. It's Sunset Song by Lewis Grassic Gibbon. Oh my god, I butchered that so badly. And this is a Scottish classic, and It came out in 19 something. I don't know. But I read it. It's very, very good. It was one of like the most highest praised Scottish books of whatever century it came out, whatever the 20th century. I'm so bad at stuff like this. You know, for someone that talks about classics all the time and reads a lot of classics, you would think I would be able to know which century was what, but I don't. And I don't really know what it's about, to be honest. It's about a woman who grows up on a farm and then moves to the city, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But I'm excited to get to it. It's not that long. It's only 200-ish pages, 250. So, oh, there's a maps as well, actually. Let me see that. I've not even opened this book. I'm guessing this is like actually Scotland. Oh, it's like a maps of like the actual town. That's kind of cool. It's like really detailed. What was the other one? Like a kind of map of Scotland. Kind of like an area of Scotland. Yeah, Aberdeen is there. That's kind of cool. So yeah, excited to get to this eventually. It's not a priority, but I think that it seems pretty good. Another classic now, and this is like, okay, so this is The Infernal World of Branwell Bronte, written by Daphne du Maurier. And obviously Daphne du Maurier is like a very well established like classics author herself. And it's so funny to me that she wrote a non-fiction about one of the Brontes, because I know I love the Brontes, and I actually haven't read any Daphne du Maurier yet. I really want to read Rebecca. It's on my list. I will get to it one day. But I just thought this was like kind of a weird crossover, the fact that she wrote a non-fiction about another classics author. But I'm not author. Branwell wasn't an author, but if you don't know, Branwell Bronte is the brother of Anne, Emily, and Charlotte Bronte, and he was an alcoholic, and he wrote as a child, but he never actually done any proper official writing as an adult, and I don't know much about him. He's kind of like obscure, but I'm excited to find out some more about him and read this book. I haven't read that many non-fictions, and I've not read any non-fiction like biographies or anything yet, so this will be a first. So looking forward to that whenever I get to it. Again, not a priority, but I do genuinely want to get to it at some point soon. This next one is a French classic, very bougie, and it is Nana by this person, Emile Zola. I'm just gonna say Zola. And this was recommended to me by Dancing Lawn, her YouTube channel is. I don't know her real name actually. Her YouTube channel is Dancing Lawn, and she's actually hosting a readathon for a different Emile Zola book next month, September. Yeah, September. So go and check that out. I'll leave the link. I was originally going to join it. However, I've made a promise to myself that I'm going to get my physical TBR down. So instead, I'm going to read this one and be in like the spirit of her read along, because I did genuinely want to take part, but I have so many unread physical books at this stage. I'm like, no, I need to just focus on the ones I actually own and get through them. But this is about, I'm pretty sure the title character Nana, is that her name? Yeah, is a prostitute, and that's all I know, but you know, I love that lifestyle, so that sounds weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to read that next month, and that will be part of my Stranger Things readathon TBR, which I will post in a couple of weeks as well. This next book is The Colour Purple by Alice Walker, and this is an African American classic about women in the 1940s, 50s, not 100% sure, but it's about African American women, and I'm pretty sure it's about lesbians. Again, not 100% sure, but I've heard a lot of good things. I feel like this is a book whose title I've just always known. I feel like I've always known about the title, The Colour Purple, because it's a pretty famous movie as well, I'm sure, but I don't know much about it. I just know it's about African American women. It's by an African American author, so love that. And not 100% sure when I'll get to this, but I do want to read it at some point this year. The next book is also by an African American author, and this is A Different Drummer by William Melvin Kelly. And this is, on the front it says, The Lost Giant of American Literature, and this is meant to be really, really good. This was recommended by, I believe, Anne from Books Baking. Her channel name is like Books Baking and Blogging or something like that. I will leave a link to her as well. I always say this in my videos. I actually have been doing it, but I always have so many links in the description. But please go and check them out if you want. But Anne said this was one of her favourite books and that she never hears anyone talk about it. And I thought it sounded really cool. And it is about a town in 1957 where a black man leaves and then every single other black person in the town leaves. And it's about the town and the city, kind of what they do when all the black people leave. Because obviously at this point in 1957, a lot of people were racist. I mean, people are still racist today, but back then, especially outwardly racist. And, you know, they think in their head that they want all the black people to leave, and they say stuff, you know, like go back to Africa, racist stuff like that. But as we know, African Americans and black people, blah, 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 have a lot of spending power. So I'm assuming it's going to go into that and show that the city or the town, wherever it is, actually really relies on these people that it actually hates. So I think that'll be super interesting. And I am excited to read it. I think I might read it next month, but I'm not so sure. But definitely, again, want to read it soon. This next book, The Kraken Wakes by John Wyndham? I don't know, it's there. I think Monica from Mooney Reads recommended this. 100%, again, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure she recommended this. And it is an apocalyptic kind of sci-fi classic, and I don't know much about it. It says, ships are sinking for no apparent reason, carrying hundreds to a chill, dark underwater grave. Strange fireballs race through the sky. It sounds really cool. I love apocalypse stuff, and I want to get into more sci-fi, like I said earlier. So this is pretty fun, and it's very, well, actually the text is pretty small, but it's quite a small book. It's like 200 pages, so nice, easy read, and I'm looking forward to it. The final book is White Oleander by Janet Fitch, and this was recommended to me in my DMing 100 YouTubers video by Adventures of Zach and B. His actual name is Zach Garcia Payton. He's so cool, I love his channel, and he's super nice. And I didn't mention this back then, but his husband Alistair actually is a booktuber. He doesn't upload that frequently, but he is a booktuber, and I completely didn't even mention that in my last video, which I probably should have. But yeah, Alistair does booktube videos, and then Zach kind of does like lifestyle kind of vlogs. But this is about a woman in the foster system, or a young girl, sorry, in the foster system, and it deals with themes of motherhood, and it just sounded pretty cool. It's been a while since I read the description, but this was the one out of all of the recommendations I got in that video that really stood out to me. So I'm excited to get to it eventually. I think I'm going to read this next month as well, actually, as part of my Stranger Things readathon TBR. So that was all the videos. I am not editing this video, I don't think. I swear to God, I'm just going to post it because I want to. So if you've watched this stage, thank you so much for watching. Please check out all the links in the description and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.